This week, Azur Lane finally released their private quarters side mode, a fully 3D experience with select ship girls. I'll share my opinions on the new mode in this video. First of all, we only have one character to choose from right now, Un-Sirius. This has been made pretty obvious from all the marketing up until this point. If you are a major fan of her, this update will be very joyous for all. However, personally, I wasn't super drawn to her, so the prospect was far less tantalizing. Regardless, I did decide to give the new mode a try. The setup here is Akashi is giving ship girls new dorm rooms, and the first girl to move in is Un-Sirius. That's basically it. Let's get into the gameplay. You move around in a 3D space with the left of the screen controlling movement and the right of the screen controlling the camera. For emulators, this should land with WASD for movement, while you click and drag your mouse on the right for camera control. Or you can interact here for a slight glimmer, and tapping them gives you more info on that item. Tapping on Un-Sirius for Glitter gives you multiple options to choose from. Now, there is an incentive for checking into this mode on a regular basis, unlike Project Identity. You are given a set amount of energy per day. Talking or interacting with her if you have energy to spare increases their intimacy. By raising it, you gain additional rewards and cutscenes to enjoy. Running out of energy doesn't buy you from these activities, you just don't increase intimacy from them. You can also give her gifts at any time that increase her intimacy a tiny bit without the need for energy. I'll get to the specifics later. There are two locales to play around with right now, the dorm room and the beach. While the beach certainly feels larger, there's a lot less to do around there, and invisible walls will catch you out. Probably best to stay around Un-Sirius in her swimsuit. Each location allows you to play a different minigame. The dorm room has whatever the hell this is, while the beach has a volleyball minigame which... Yeah, I had quite a few technical issues on day one. I enabled GPU in the settings thinking it would leverage more compute, but when I got to the volleyball minigame, it first softly rebooted the game, and on the second attempt, it resulted in a hard crash to the home screen. So that warning about the game maybe crashing with this on was not a lie. Unfortunately, third time was not the charm, as after the countdown ended, the game completely soft-locked, necessitating a full restart. Hopefully, one of the 4 patches that came along afterwards fixed some of these larger bugs. If those minigames sound too laborious for you, there's also the private time mode. It's a set it and forget it affair that allows you to passively gain intimacy with the game staying plus 40 every 5 minutes. You don't do anything during this time, so just sit back and relax. But what if you do need to move around? Well, day 1 performance on my emulator wasn't leaving me impressed. As you can tell by these frame times, things are all over the place. When I came back on day 2 after some patches, it did feel noticeably better, and performance on the latest mobile hardware, which in my case was my Pixel 7 Pro, was very smooth from the get-go. Just make sure your hardware is at or above recommended specs. Older phones will struggle with running this. If you're concerned about the size of mandatory download and you don't have a storage space and or performance, I'd recommend a full reinstall with basic assets. I didn't encounter any of the black screen issues that people reportedly had with BlueStacks emulators. Your mileage may vary. Now, there are some elements of this mode that you can pay for with premium currency. 2 of them are gifts that you can give for extra intimacy. The cake gift box is similar to premium dorm food in that I wouldn't recommend spending gems on it if you're patient enough. The Killing Supplies toolbox gets you a bonus special scene and a huge intimacy boost. But it's also 280 gems. There's also this sweet secret bed furniture which replaces the simple bed and comes with its own set of unique interactions. However, it comes with a higher price tag of 480 gems. Overall, the value proposition is good, depends entirely on you. Finally, let's talk about the camera mode. This is a pretty standard feature of games with 3D elements, with depth of field, blur, and lens effects, and the ability to change poses, freeze actions, and hide the character. Standard stuff. You do get the ability to play around with the furniture in the camera mode, but only in the dorm room. Also, you don't get the option to switch what skin Un-Sirius is wearing, which I find odd, considering you can do that in the interact mode. I also would have liked to change the camera position without affecting the angle, with an implementation similar to how Starwell on mobile and Atelier Soliana handled it. Though, none of them have an augmented reality mode, so here's the real winner here. So, my thoughts. I think this mode is fine. It adds more depth to a character that is liked by the community and has its own quirks that separate it from the main gameplay loop. That last part is a double-edged sword though. It does absolutely nothing for anything else in the game, even if you have Sirius already in your dock. If you have a Rico older phone and or don't like Sirius, this mode might not interest you at all. For D commanders who started this game just for this mode, this deep level 80 account requirement could be a turn-off. This mode is best thought of as a way to kill time while waiting for morale to recoup, or other nefarious under the cover moments. I'd give this mode 6 bunny plushies out of 10. Hope you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for what's coming in next.